Between 2006 and 2012, something strange began appearing on the streets of Florida and California. Multiple witnesses, different cities, different times, but always the same description, always the same terrifying smile. And no identity was ever found. It started on a quiet night in 2006. A young woman was walking home alone around 2 a.m. The streets were empty, silent. That's when she saw him, standing perfectly still under a streetlight at the end of the block. Tall, impossibly tall, thin, like a shadow stretched too far, wearing a dark suit that seemed to blend into the night. But it was his face that made her freeze. He was smiling, this wide, unnatural smile that stretched across his face, like it was carved there, permanent, unmoving. His eyes were locked on her, but the smile never changed, never wavered. He didn't move, didn't blink, didn't breathe, just stood there, smiling. She told herself to stay calm, to keep walking. So she did, one foot in front of the other, trying not to look back. But she couldn't help it. She glanced over her shoulder, and that's when her blood ran cold. He was closer, much closer, but she never saw him move, never heard footsteps. He was just there, closer than before, still smiling that horrible smile. She ran, didn't stop until she reached her apartment, locked every door, every window. But when she finally worked up the courage to look outside, he was gone, vanished into the night. She reported it to the police. They took notes, filed a report, told her to stay vigilant. But there was nothing they could do. No evidence, no suspect, just her word against the darkness. 2 years later, 2008, California. A middle-aged man was driving home late from work. As he passed through a residential neighborhood, he saw something that made him slam on his brakes. A figure, dancing in the middle of the street. But it wasn't normal dancing. The man was swaying back and forth in this jerky, unnatural rhythm. His arms bent at odd angles, his legs moving like they were controlled by strings. And through it all, he was smiling. That same wide, impossible smile. The witness sat there, frozen behind the wheel. The smiling man continued his bizarre dance, getting closer to the car with each strange movement. The witness couldn't take it anymore. He hit the gas and sped away, watching in his rearview mirror as the figure slowly faded into the distance. Still dancing, still smiling. More reports came in. 2009, 2010, 2011, Florida, California. Different witnesses, different locations, but always the same description. Always the same tall, thin man in a dark suit. Always that unnatural smile. Always those strange, jerking movements. Some saw him standing still. Others saw him dancing. Some reported he followed them for blocks. Others said he simply watched from a distance. But everyone described the same feeling. Pure, primal terror. Like they were being hunted by something that wasn't quite human. Police across both states began comparing notes. 7 confirmed sightings. Possibly more that went unreported. They searched for patterns, checked surveillance footage, interviewed witnesses, but they found nothing. No fingerprints, no DNA, no security camera ever caught him on tape. And then, just as mysteriously as he appeared, he stopped. After 2012, the sightings ceased. No more reports, no more encounters. The smiling man simply vanished. To this day, no one knows who he was, or what he was. No identity was ever established. No arrest was ever made. He remains one of the most disturbing unsolved mysteries of the modern era. Some say he was a serial killer who was never caught. Others believe he was something far worse. Something not of this world. But one thing is certain. Those who saw the smiling man will never forget that face. That smile. And they'll never feel safe walking alone at night again. Because somewhere out there, in the darkness between streetlights, he might still be waiting. Still watching. Still smiling.